Hey guys, how you doing? It's Nick. Okay, this video, as the title would suggest, is going to be all about the wonderful and exciting world of packaging supplies. Now, if you are brand new to this and you're perhaps only selling a handful of items a week, or even if you are full-time and you're selling hundreds of items a week, the one thing we all need is good quality, reliable, preferably cheap packing supplies. So I'm talking about your envelopes, poly mailers, your packing paper, tape, all of that stuff, and then supplies for FBA as well if you're going to get into FBA, because since starting FBA I've found there's a few essentials that you need, and I've found some really good supplies for those as well. So I'm going to show you what I use, because I get endless questions on my channel saying, what do I recommend using, what do I use, how do I package this, what do I suggest to use to package board games, etc, etc. So I thought I'd put out another video showing you exactly the stuff I use, and then I will give you links through to the products, the exact products that I buy. So if you want to take advantage of the links and get this stuff at great prices, then that'll be there for you. If you're watching this on the resellers forum, the links will be on this page. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, I'm going to drop a link below to my web page, my website, which has a page dedicated to this, where I share all of the suppliers that I use, so you can get this stuff at fantastic prices. So anyway, without further ado, I will start with an essential, which is jiffy bags or padded envelopes. Now, if you're going to sell media products, that's your CDs, your computer games, DVDs in any sort of volume, these are pretty much essential. Now, this is your standard size D1 bag. These I get for, now I did write down what it works out. The supplier I use, these work out at 7p each, and you can't really beat that. These are perfect for a CD. I find actually you can get 2 CDs stacked up. Hang on. So if you had like a mini bundle or a pair of CDs like that, if you stack them like that, they will still go as a large letter. This is my really old flimsy gauge, but they will still stack in a standard jiffy bag and go as a large letter on top of each other. So that's a handy hint. But yeah, these D1 sizes are perfect for most games, and they'll still go as a large letter. And there, slide it in. A lot of books, if you sell books individually, they're perfect for these. Some books will be thicker and they won't be able to go as a large letter. That's when you'll need one of those gauges. Actually, while I mention the gauge, I've still got my free one that the post office gave away years ago when they introduced a large letter size. But there's a link that I'll give you to a really nice Perspex one of these, so you can check the size of your envelopes before you take them up to the post office to check that they qualify for large letter. Really handy. I use this on a daily basis. You can pick those up for £3 or £4, and yeah, I'll give you the link for that as well. So that's D1. So I'll drop a link for, I think it's 100 of these you can get for about £7 something, so yeah, 7p each. The other size that I tend to use are the F3s, these larger ones. There you can see F3. These are perfect for pairs of DVDs. So if you sell a pair, you can actually get 2 in one envelope. And believe it or not, they still go as a large letter. So you get both DVDs in. And when that's sealed, it only just, but does qualify as a large letter. So yeah, they're fantastic. These work out at about 14p each on the link I'm going to give you, and you can buy them in 50s. So yeah, they're fantastic. Right, just going to go and grab the poly bags and show you the poly bags I use. Okay, right, poly bags or poly mailers, whatever you want to call them, are essentially just tough plastic bags with a rip and stick seal on it. And they come in all different sizes. They're super quick, super efficient, perfect for soft toys, which don't need any extra padding. You can just chuck it in, seal it up, and it goes. Clothing is what I mainly use these for. They come in loads of sizes. That's a fairly small one. I've just run out of the really big ones I tend to use, but there's this size as well. And yeah, they're super cheap. They work out pennies, like 3 or 4 pence each. If you're just getting into this, there's a great link that I've got on my website, which is or on the forum, which is for a pack of, I think it's 100 mixed sizes. So you'll get a selection of all these sizes, and they work out about 3 or 4 pence each. I think it was, yeah, about 4p each. So they are such a cheap and efficient way of sending clothing or non-breakable stuff. So that's poly mailers or poly bags. Okay, next is packing paper. Now a lot of people ask me, how do I send my board games? How do I package my board games? And for most of them, all I do is I use packing paper. I use decent quality brown packing paper. And I'll drop a link to a smaller roll than this, but you can get larger rolls on there as well. This is about half used. This was a 250 meter roll by 750 mil. As long as the board game or toy or whatever it is you're sending has a sturdy box, it will be fine to just wrap it in packing paper, seal it up and stick it straight in the post. So if you had, for example, something like this would be absolutely fine. It's a sturdy box, it's not going to get crushed in the post. So just wrap that in brown paper, only takes a couple of minutes to do, seal it up, and it's good to go. Another thing I've been using this packing paper for, since doing FBA, is to make sure the board games that I send up to the warehouse can't come open, because Amazon recommend that you make sure that your toys and games can't come open anyway. So while they're being picked or packed or shipped, they can't open up and all the bits go everywhere. So you could use tape and tape the lids down, but the problem there is that, you know, when the tape's ripped off, it's going to damage the box. If you're selling it to a collector and it's a vintage one, they're not going to want the damage. So what I've started doing, I think it works really well, is to just put a strip of packing paper around. Only takes a few seconds to cut a strip off. I went a bit overboard on this one, to be honest. You don't need to put that much on. And then wrap it around. It looks neat, it looks tidy, it doesn't damage the product in any way. And then I've been sticking my label on there if the barcode is obscured by it. So as you can see, that one's all ready to go. So yeah, that's how I've been sending up my board games and making sure that they don't come open. Is to use packing paper. So that's another handy use for that. So yeah, there's links to the packing paper as well, so use those if you need to. Okay, next one is packing tape. I buy this in boxes of 36. Again, I'll give you the link for these. You can get them in brown. I tend to buy the clear ones because I use these to over sticker my labels as well. But the clear ones on the link that I use, these work out at 50 pence each. But if you do prefer the brown ones, or you're not bothered about getting the clear, the brown ones are even cheaper. I think they're about 30p. I did write that down somewhere. Yeah, about 36 pence per roll. So they're so economical. And I tend to use a tape gun. You can get these anywhere. I don't have a specific link for one because I bought this years and years ago and I don't have a link to a specific one, so I wouldn't want to recommend one that isn't any good. But yeah, I would recommend spending a little bit more than the cheapest ones on the market to get something that's quite sturdy and reliable, because you will use it an awful lot. I've had this one for years and it's perfectly reliable. So that's tape. I think that's it for my sort of basic packing supplies. I mentioned FBA earlier, and oh, I think I've taken the label somewhere else. Right, bear with, hold on. Okay, so for those of you that are going to dabble in FBA or even if you've already started. What I'm using, I label all my own products before I send them up. I don't get Amazon to do my labeling for me. And I'm using 27 labels per sheet, per A4 sheet, these ones. And there's a link to this specific sort which work out at, now what did it work out? Something ridiculous. Well, they're £5 for 2,700, whatever that works out. Yeah, fantastically cheap. Yeah, so there'll be a link to those. And also with FBA, I bag loose soft toys, some small games and toys, and some books if I feel they need it. And what I am doing now, there is a link on the page or below if you're on the forum for bags with the suffocation warning already printed on. But I am now using clear bags in all different sizes, and I'll add a link to those as well. There's a firm who have a whole load of different listings on Amazon, and they sell, they're basically like food bags. They are so cheap, they're pennies. This is what they are, and they're really thick. They're really durable. I'm really impressed with how strong they are for the cost. Yeah, and like I say, these are perfect for your soft toys, that sort of stuff. Toys and games that aren't boxed, I've been sending up in these. Things like Boppets and that sort of stuff. So yeah, there'll be some links to these. Well, there'll be a link through to one size, and then you can just go and check the seller's other listings to get the different sizes. But I found those fantastic. I mentioned earlier about the post office gauge. Yeah, I find these really useful, and a necessity really if you're going to be sending much media, to check that your item classes as a large letter. But I recommend getting a decent Perspex one, not a flimsy old bit of rubbish like I've got. Okay, I think that pretty much covers it all. Let me see what else I've got down here. No, that's about it. I didn't talk about cardboard boxes. I don't buy cardboard boxes. I find I can get more than enough just in my local town. I get a lot from Poundland. They're always restocking the shelves. I just go up and ask somebody, can I help myself to boxes? And they always say yes. Shoe shops are fantastic. Big cardboard recycling bins around the back of superstores. I get more than enough, and I have a supply under my packing table that just, I refresh that once every now and again. And yeah, I don't buy boxes. Since I've been doing FBA and I send up big boxes of stuff, I get my big boxes from the cardboard recycling bins as well. So yeah, that's that. Oh, and for void fill, if you're doing an FBA shipment, or you're sending I don't know, a Nerf gun in a big box, there's going to be loads of empty space around it. So for void fill, I tend to use newspaper. It's free, it's abundant, and it's perfect for that. I do use bubble wrap for some stuff. Oh, that's what I hadn't mentioned. Bubble wrap and foam wrap as well. There will be some links to some cheap suppliers of those below if you're on the forum, or on my website. If you're on YouTube, just follow the link. Anyway, I hope that was useful in some way, and it answered a few of the questions that I consistently get. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.